Good evening and thank you for watching News Press Now. I'm Kirsten Stokes. February marks the start of Black History Month, and St. Joseph has been home to a number of influential Black entertainers, inventors, and political leaders. News Press Now's Jasmine Knight joins us live in the studio to tell us more.
I recently spoke with Black community leaders to learn the full story of St. Joseph's Black history. Throughout this process, not only did I learn some pretty interesting stories, but I also learned the importance of passing down these stories to the younger generations.
We're going to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly, you know, and that's just history. Because my philosophy about history is it validates people. It says that I was here, I am here, and I will be here. That's what history is for everybody.
Leaders say it's important to celebrate Black history because many experience inequality, misrepresentation, and prejudice.
It's inspired me because there are certain individuals who will say a certain race is this way because it's inherent. It's because it's who they are. Well, no, it's because of what they've gone through, because of what they have not had access to.
Here in St. Joseph, there are so many stories about individuals pioneering their way to excellence. However, if I talked about them all, I would simply run out of breath. Today, we take a look at the impact of St. Joseph's Black history and how it influences our community, especially our youth.
It's the foundation. And so that's what we try to give this young people, the foundation.
Court and tried to get his freedom. That's the courthouse in St. Louis. Actually, the same one in Dred Scott.
One great source of information here in town is the Black Archives Museum. You can find stories of legends such as Coleman Hawkins, known as the father of the tenor sax, Charles Baker, the inventor of the friction heater, and Kelsey Bashirs, who organized boycotts and founded the NAACP of St. Joseph.
She recruited people from St. Joseph to integrate the lunch counters here in St. Joe, and the theaters and the swimming pools. She went through all of that stuff. I knew her personally.
After speaking with leaders, I realized what may be history to me is considered memories for others. Gary Wilkinson relived those memories with me. He talked about his history and what it was like for integration in St. Joseph.
The couple that you see here is my great-grandmother, my great-grandfather, Amos Stillman, Elizabeth Stillman. Elizabeth Stillman at that time was Elizabeth Harvey. She was enslaved on a farm near Chillicothe, Missouri. Even though the Supreme Court declared segregation was illegal in 1954, I went to school from 57 to 64 at Horace Mann, and we were still segregated during that period of time. But to me, it was a plus because we had such dedicated teachers.
Wilkinson says integration had many people torn. It was definitely an adjustment for all.
I think blacks were not in leadership roles where before in their own schools. They were able to become the leaders, the class presidents, the valedictorians. They were the leaders of their captains of their teams and stuff. Well, that kind of diminished when integration came about. And it made it a little bit more difficult, but it's always been more difficult for us. It was just one of the more things that we had to overcome, and we did that.
For future generations, both Wilkinson and Hedge emphasized the importance of learning about history.
There's no excuse for not knowing something. The access is so easy. You can get on the internet, you can go to a library, research for yourself, find out don't just let somebody tell you what's what on a podcast. Look into the background.
Well, I've learned so much even since college, because when I was growing up as a young person, none of my history was in the books. I might see a slave every now and then, but as far as like the people who had achieved things and accomplished, I didn't see any of that.
As Black history continues to be made nationally and also in St. Joseph, it's important to know our roots and teach our stories to the younger generations. In the words of Gary Wilkinson, if you know who you are, then you know who you can be. Reporting for News Press Now, I'm Jasmine Knight.
To learn more history on the Black experience, visit the Black Archives Museum at 3406 Frederick Avenue.